3 seconds. And with 4:30, with the 3-second countdown, I call the committee of the whole meeting to order at 4:30. And we are going to be going into close just for a brief period. But I don't see our CA over here. We can.
Approve the agenda?
No, we got to do the closed item first. And because the agenda will be directed by the closed part. So I'll have a motion to go closed at 4:30. Let's say 4:31. We'll give it 10 seconds just so it looks like we weren't in a hurry. Motion to go close at 4:31. Councillor Williams, all in favor? No, that's just consensus. We don't need a motion, so but Councillor Williams led that by approving, and do I have consensus around the table?
Yes.
All right. So we're in closed session at 4:31.
that way it is.
You don't mind?
So did you guys return at what time?
No, the motion is what I was, because we need to bring the motion number back. That's the one I was looking for.
Yeah,
Oh, well, I have that.
and I'll bring the RFP.
Yeah, the RFD, the motion that we made.
And would we, so you have all this?
No, it's,
36820.
it's what?
36820.
36820.
Are you ready, Lisa?
Yep.
Okay, so the docket items that are on page 2 of our package, we'll deal with those. And I believe then we want to start with prioritizing HR policy with marked changes, current salary grid for all positions, enhanced wording for staff travel. Is that what is all encompassing from the December 12th meeting?
Yep, that, we go.
Those, do you want these here?
Yep.
Oh no, sorry, here, this page.
This is what was done in that meeting.
So,
We don't have salary grid on
It's on there, second one.
yeah. And I'm sure that salary grid was with comparative, the most recent comparative survey.
here. No salary grid. Okay.
So could we prioritize the docket with forwarding that to council tonight? And we need consensus, just if you want to read those and get consensus on it.
So,
Why
To
are
bring-
we doing the official vote?
We're not, we're just getting consensus.
To bring back the human resources policy, which was passed in 2019 with changes in markup format. To bring current salary grid for all positions. Comparative surveys, I don't know that I can put that on there, like, if there's enough time to do that in 2 weeks. but
Well, no,
maybe there
just
is.
if there is one.
We can include that.
Okay. To bring back the hiring policy with changes in markup format. And what's the enhanced recommendation?
To that motion.
Oh, okay.
Travel.
Resolution 558-23.
And to send those to council tonight.
For approval or for discussion.
Could you repeat the list again?
It's
Yep.
it's on our doc, it's on our
Yeah.
package,
It's on the minute.
it's in the package, yeah. In the meeting notes.
Yeah,
So we'll set it for an addition to the January 9th RCM agenda. All right, we send it to January 9th RCM agenda as a business item.
yes.
And we have consensus, Councillor Baswick? Councillor McCoy?
Yes.
Councillor Deputy Mayor? Councillor Moore?
Yes.
All right. So the next docket items that we need to prioritize are the community groups, external requests, the JUPA, the pedestrian connectivity master plan, and the level of service document. And I would like to suggest that we prioritize external budget requests and the pedestrian connectivity plan in that order, because the service level document would be valuable for next year's budget. I don't think we could use it this year. We wouldn't get through it quick enough to use it for this year. And then the JUPA, we have till 2025 to deal with that, so,
Where are we pulling this from?
from the agenda package. Second page.
4:30 meeting?
yeah, it's on the
Page 2.
page 3. It's after the notes.
It's on
I have it on page 2, but it was on your desk, the whole package. That's what I'm looking at.
I'm just scrolling.
It's on this
You can look at it here.
And those are just the way
Oh,
I'd
okay.
open discussion on those things, that's just my
Six point
thoughts.
one docket.
So we deal with the external budget requests that when the group should come. And the pedestrian connectivity, because we could maybe get through that. Actually, those other 3 are, I think JUPA is last though, because it doesn't have to be back till 2025. Any other thoughts? Anybody have any thoughts on that? Ethan?
And just a note about external groups, we recommend that, as for previous discussion, that be held until you're kind of you've gone through all your other add-ons and you're at a point in the budget that you're now ready to consider anything else, that you made your decisions on those other potential add-ons first. So then you know what you're dealing with before you hear those requests as well. I mean, that was just something we previously discussed.
Any thoughts? Councilor Winter, you have a comment?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Hunter. I recall it somewhat similar in that I think that we were going to, maybe it would be after our first budget meeting where we decided whether or not we were going to do some of those add-ons and then have the presentation from the group. So I'm not saying that we should push it down some, but I think that setting the date would be very valuable for that. So I agree with having the talk to set the date as to when we're going to do that and how we're going to do that. Then I think because the pedestrian connectivity plan is going to be I think a long process, because I think there's a lot involved in that we're not necessarily completely on top of right now. I don't see why level of service would come ahead of that.
Any other thoughts? So external budget, we
Set dates and,
tonight, we prioritize setting dates
yes.
for next committee of the whole. And then second level of service, is everybody good with that second? I'm going around the table for consensus.
I would have to have the connectivity master plan second. Sorry. I would have the connectivity master plan as my second, budget request is number 1, level of service number 3, then JUPA is the last one, so JUPA we can have dealt with in 2025.
So does everybody agree external budget request is first? So that's an easy one. And then, any thoughts between pedestrian connectivity master plan and level of service? I think they're kind of neck and neck as far as when they need to get done. No, I'm just throwing that out there. So any thoughts, Councillor Baswick, on what order you'd like to see those in?
Thank you, Mayor. What I'm looking at is it says that refer to the committee of the whole by council. I didn't refer any of these items. Who referred these particular items on behalf of council?
We did.
Who's we?
Council at the council table.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
I must have been absent because I don't recall any of these
Okay.
particular items. Anyway,
We'll include motion numbers on them the next time we show the list.
all right.
They're
That would
all
be great.
set by motion.
So, the only one of real importance to me is the external budget requests. Everything else is, that's the key thing right now in my mind. Budget. Anything else is secondary to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Councillor McCoy?
I know we're kind of agreeing with what CAO said, but I really think however we prorate them, we need to ensure that there's sort of knowledge that external budget, we haven't committed to that money. I don't believe we have anyways. And we don't want to cut a major program because we've already committed to that. My second point is that if you read through the pedestrian connectivity master plan, there are huge budget implications in there. including for this year and every year moving forward. So I would say pedestrian connectivity plan should be first, not after external budget requests. But just because I think it's more related immediately to budget and where the money's gonna come from.
Just refresh
my memory for a second. We already have library and museum and that in our budget, we just haven't seen what the request for more is, right? Okay. So, then I would, I think connectivity, pedestrian connectivity would be my major one.
So it wasn't a given, I was incorrect on that assumption. So we have some other first choices. And you already discussed what you thought? You gonna stick with that? It's the last chance. Okay, Councillor Windsor.
I think I already said, and I don't care which one, because there's budget implications in both of them, so.
Councillor Moore?
I would say the same thing. By the time we're done, we're gonna be going back and forth with the budget anyway, and so we'll be talking about all of it and eventually get to it all. So however, if somebody has strong feelings, they can do it their way, I don't care.
Let's pick the pedestrians then. Because that really is a priority of our community too, so I think that's important. And the way our community hall meetings go, we can pick the next one at the next meeting, because we take a long time to get through each one. Or what would you like to pick, why don't we just pick a second one? The external budget request? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna recommend the external budget
Okay.
request as number 2,
Okay,
because that has to do with budget, we need to get that done.
okay. Everybody okay with number 2 being external budget requests?
Yep.
Okay. And then can we see where we get with those, and then we can prioritize some more? That saves us some time. Are y'all good with that? Okay. So consensus, pedestrian connectivity master plan will be dealt with first at the committee of the whole, and then the external budget requests will be second. And we'll keep the other ones on the docket for future planning. So now we have,
Yeah, hello, Ethan. Okay.
okay, so we have options for budget meeting dates in January. And I just would like to say that our motion, 582-23, was to bring back a variety of options for budget meetings, but we were presented with a survey with just Mondays, and so I'm interested in why just Mondays were presented and why some weeks, some Saturdays, or some Thursday afternoons. And I think we need to start accommodating all of council for options. Not need to, I think we should try to accommodate all of council with a variety of options, and then we always have to negotiate a bit. But at this point, I'm not sure what, I expected a variety of options to come back, and we got a survey, so I don't know what to do about that. Come, Ethan?
Yeah, I can speak to that. That was basically what the available evenings were for the senior administrative team. I mean, if all you needed was me there and Amanda prepped all the documents, then there could be more variety, but this was really, being that Amanda's the main one, this was really, we were focused on what her availability was for week evenings for the rest of the month, and so it's just a very busy month right now with a lot of stuff going on, so.
Go ahead.
Just a question, the plan, like how long would these meetings be? Like an hour, or like this, or longer, like 5 till?
It's budget, so I anticipate 5 to 6 hours of budget discussions. We haven't had any yet. We've had a presentation.
We
So-
could probably do more options if, again, if Amanda necessarily have to be here in person, because I couldn't facilitate that, so. it's
Could
probably-
we pick more than one day? I don't think we can do 6 or 7 hours starting at 6
Well,
o'clock.
And if I might suggest that
Sorry.
it's a council budget meeting for council to discuss the budget. And I know what we used to do is we'd submit questions. All our questions, we just submit them, we email them to Ethan, CCO of the council. They'd go to, Ethan would send them to the department that could answer, or, and then we get it back at our budget meeting, and then if we had more questions, then away we'd go again, but maybe we just have the capital budget meeting in January then, and have some option for dates in February, because maybe the capital budget meeting, which would be one of these nights, I'm not available till the 29th, so, I didn't answer the survey because I wanted these questions answered first, as to why we can't have more options than Mondays. Deputy Mayor?
So, some people did answer that Monday was okay. What's wrong with Monday nights, I guess is my question. Is it that we don't have more nights to choose from, or are Monday nights just bad?
I just said I can't make any till the end of
Okay.
January. Councilman Coy?
I'm just curious, would Amanda's issues with not being available in the evening be resolved if we had a daytime meeting? Because she does work.
But then that'd be worse, because all the council couldn't be there. That's worse than Amanda not being there.
I guess that's an assumption, yeah. Okay.
I don't know I don't know that we've asked the question of council for some options for days, but are there any other comments?
Just wondering,
'Cause
would it work to have it virtually? Would you be able to participate if it was
No.
virtual? Would, oh, okay. Because I could.
And my suggestion that we deal with the capital budget first on the 29th so that we can expedite that. And it doesn't even have to be the 29th. Whatever, if I can't be there, I guess everybody else can, then we'll accommodate. Any comments, suggestions?
Mayor, would there be a possibility of having it on a Saturday or even a Sunday for that matter? Would that be a possibility? Then it could be during the day?
Well, I think between staff not being available and some counselors not being available, I think we're kind of at a impasse. There's got to be something that works, that it shouldn't be difficult. Even if we had, I'm not asking for people to accommodate me, but is the 29th is the only one that can come on the 29th?
I can't come that day.
Councillor Moore, okay, so then Councillor McCoy can't come, and I can't come the 15th or 22nd.
I'm just calling up my calendar, I'm using the phone.
We are using your phone, but I get it. My calendar's on my phone too.
Calendar up. Okay, are you talking about June 29th?
Go ahead, Councillor Williams.
29th could work for me. Would the 25th work for anybody? I can make that work, or
Around the 23rd, so anything beyond that.
A Thursday night?
the 26th work for me, and the 30th.
But we've already said that we can't have access to Amanda any days but those
Well,
Mondays.
Because she's available.
Just right, but again, she wouldn't necessarily have to be there. If she gave us the information, if she provided the information, I could facilitate the administrative support. I'm available any day, anytime.
I'm available at 29th.
Yeah, and Councillor McCoy isn't, but I like the suggestion of the 25th, Thursday night. I don't know. Everybody's, you said you're pretty available, Counselor Basil, so I'm not gonna ask you. You're not, that's the only night you're not?
No, I'm open back to weekends, so that anything, that's why I'm not getting into the conversation, because doesn't matter what you choose, I'll be there, but not weekends.
Oh, yeah,
So you want
the
to?
25th is ICC.
Oh.
We have something that night already, I think.
Yeah, the county ICC.
I have no title on it, I don't know what it is, but it's blocked out.
Yeah, that's ICC.
I'll title it now.
Did you say the 30th, the Tuesday?
Yeah, I also suggested the 30th and the 26th.
30th?
And the 26th is a Friday.
to, just because I have no life, Counselor Williams. Fridays are still important.
Did you say the
26th or 30th, so we're down to
Does
those
the
two.
30th work for everybody?
That would be fine for me.
Counselor Windsor?
That is a fifth Tuesday, so it's a bonus Tuesday.
Counselor McCoy? Deputy Mayor?
Okay.
30th.
That's the day I was chosen.
Is 4:30 too early?
Yeah.
Is it
5.
5? 5 on the 30th.
Are you guys
Councillor
sent out
McCoy?
the invite?
So we're gonna sit on this for another month and not do any debate or discussion? And I think we should be working on those other priorities we set, like the service level agreements and that kind of stuff, because we don't need a mandate.
I think the important thing, in my opinion, is getting the capital budget sorted out. And
We could add the capital budget to the next RCM. I mean, that's what we did last year, where we had a budget section of every RCM and just chipped away at it little by little, every council meeting.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just thinking that no matter how, of course, we have to get this done. Other communities have it done already, so that all of their bidding for contracting is already in the works. You know, we're gonna be behind the 8 ball as we were before, and if we start pushing, I can't see us doing any kind of bidding, having any bidding opportunities if we are pushing ourselves into late February or March. I mean, we're just behind, we won't get anybody to do the work. They're all busy, tied up. So we've got to expedite this thing, which reminds me of, is there a reason why we didn't do this prior to now? Like, would we do it in November, for example?
Yes, but Councillor Baswick, I agree, and I agree with your comments that everybody else has their tax rate, or their budget increase agreed on. We need, this is a council budget meeting, and I think that I'm the ones that are gonna have to be to say it, that our administrative team needs to be available for our budget meetings. And out of 30 days or 20 working days in the week, I think we can expect that. And if council wants to get this done, then I agree it should be done in January, I absolutely do, and I think the sooner the better. So is there any, I know you're gonna be gone for a vacation, which is fine, and that's, that's, we all budget or schedule around our council meetings and whatnot, so, yeah. And you're leaving on the,
That's in February.
oh, it's February. So, there's gotta be some days in January, 10th, 11th, 17, 18, no later than the 19th is my suggestion. You're gone for a week and 11th to the
22nd.
22nd.
But I don't go ahead with Melbourne, that's fine. I don't have to be here, but it's available on
Because nothing is set
virtual.
until, it's our budget meeting and things can change after that, but
And I'm fine with
to have something set, I think is, I appreciate your comments that you're right, we need to get this done, and Councilor McCoy.
I was just gonna mention that, I think your ideas are great, 10th, 11th, but we need to also encompass the fact that this is a public meeting, and we should give enough notice for the public to actually plan to attend if they choose, so.
Well,
Not that we have
actually,
big crowds here, Phil.
I know
or
Councilor
anything.
McCoy, but it is a council budget meeting, and people could come if they have time. And we will advertise as soon as we set the date. I could start tomorrow if we set a date tonight. So let's, I'm gonna suggest 9, 10, 11, 17, 18.
Today's 9.
Oh, I'm sorry, not this week.
And I think
17, 18,
you can use tomorrow,
Yeah. You're gonna be seeing.
nothing this week. It's too quick anyway this week, so.
I can do 17th next week or 15th next week.
Is the 17th an option next week?
Not for me, unless I can zoom in. I'm down next week. I am back on the 18th.
Or I can do 19th.
Is there any chance that we can do this virtually? Because all of us could attend then.
So
And
dates
next week
suggested,
we do
just for clarity, are the 17th and 18th?
What's that?
The dates that you're suggesting are the 17th and 18th? Or did that include the 16th?
Well, I think Ethan and Bertha, is there some dates you want to suggest, or?
Well, we were just talking about how next week we'll need to spend time prepping for ICC as well, so just keep that.
But we can do that virtually, prepping.
Well, yeah, and I think budget's priority, so that's my opinion, is budget is priority, and,
For sure.
Oh, I wouldn't do any of the virtual.
so 17, 18.
I'm good 18. 17, I have to be virtual.
I can't do 18th.
Is everybody okay 17? Am I hearing 17? January, Wednesday, 17th? Just a minute.
I can also do the 19th.
Friday night.
So who cannot be
It
here on
sounds-
17th?
Sounds like 19.
Who cannot be
Kurt
here?
can, but you can.
I can join virtually, I'll just be up.
Well,
Who cannot be on the 18th?
Well, I can't be on any of it. I can come virtually if.
And see, the private life is interfering with our business.
No,
is, for one of many holidays in the year, okay?
Really?
17th? We got the 17th here. You said the 18th, though, that you would be here.
But he can't be the 18th, so I'm saying on the 17th, I can come in virtually.
Then I
He
suggested,
maybe can't on the 7th, on the 18th.
I said the 19th,
The Friday.
Friday.
Why don't we do the 17th and the 19th?
Is it conceivable this is gonna take two days? It's pretty heavy.
Well, I think, personally, I think 6 to 8 hours. And why would we cut it short? Like, I don't want to be rushed. I don't think anybody does want to be rushed through the budget. So if we set 2 nights, you can always cancel the second one if we're miracle workers, right? So the 17th and the 19th.
And virtual stability?
Virtual option?
Yeah.
So who cannot be here on Friday on the 19th? Everybody can be here.
And you're still gone?
22nd then.
Oh, okay.
But I just announced it to the whole town, which I did not intend to do.
Oh, fellow burglars.
Hey, your mic goes on.
You didn't really.
We probably shouldn't be broadcasting our
No.
absentee on.
No.
Certainly should.
Well, it isn't an absentee, it's a week off, so
No,
I know what you mean, yeah. All right, so I think we are pretty successful in, say, on the 17th, in the evening, on the 19th, and we'll send that to council.
I'm going to the 29th, just in case.
We did, yeah. And they'll be at 5? Does that work? 5, no later than 9,
To start.
even if we're getting close, like we're just gonna quit at 9. Because we have too many of those late meetings, then we're not really. And we'll, and I think to help everybody, I think we should also put together all the questions and email them like we used to and get them, like email all your questions to Ethan and they come back at that meeting, the answers all together, but we CC each other so we know what questions are being submitted for the budget purposes. And that makes it way more expeditious too, that we don't have our administrative team sitting here without the answers. They know what the questions are.
Some of my questions are derived during discussion.
Right, oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right, so with that,
So it's the 17th and 19th, no longer the 30th then, is it being?
no 30th, it's too late.
Okay, so 17.
It's the most exciting time of the year, isn't it, Councillor Baswick?
That's
Figuring out how much our taxes go down? Okay, so we can probably, well, by consensus, we'll send those dates and times to council tonight, because it's on the agenda already. And then we can adjourn at 5:20, I'm gonna say 23, I'll give you 13 seconds here for the countdown. Any other comments before we close?
Yeah, feel free to proceed.
Thanks. 5:23,
We are, Phil.
the meeting is adjourned, everybody agree?
Yeah, we're having another meeting, Phil,
Mm-hmm.
at 6.